Let's talk about self-worth and self-esteem because you cannot keep outsourcing your self-esteem to other people or your accomplishments because one day they might no longer be there. And story time. We were doing a mastermind and where were we in Utah? Utah. It was a few years ago. And one thing that we did is each person recorded a voice note okay, so we opened up voice memos, and one person was like, they were in the hot seat. We basically took their phone and we recorded our voice saying, like, complimenting this person, speaking life into them, all the things that we believe they're capable of doing, what we love about them, where we see them going, and just like literally pouring life. And it was deeply emotional. I remember when it got to my turn, it was very confronting because I mean, I shared with the group that compliments were still very awkward for me at that stage in my life because I didn't grow up receiving many. So, number one, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe them. And I always feel like I didn't believe them and I wasn't used to them. And the narration that you have in your head is oftentimes what you were told as a child. Like it just sticks with you. It takes a lot of work and a long time to kind of rewire certain stories and patterns. But there are things, especially if you were told and ingrained it as a child, it's really hard to just shake. So I'm not going to pretend that like, oh yeah, like I speak to myself confidently all the time. And so my self-confidence and self-belief is so high. I have to fight almost daily the things that I was told as a child. I have to rewrite the stories in my head. I have to rethink and reshape the patterns that I am meant to believe about what I'm capable of doing and accomplishing. And it's daily work, which sucks. So I'm tired. How many more years of this? God, come on. Um, and I think it's a powerful thing to just remember if you're someone that confidence does not come easy to you, you're not alone, number one. And number two, I think that's actually the baseline. I think that's most common. People that have a ton of self-confidence probably had parents that like really poured into them as children, really supported their dreams, their goals, their humanity. And for the rest of us, mostly immigrant kids, the reality is our love was conditional. And I don't say this, facetiously. Like I think it's my story is not it's not a unique situation. Hundreds of thousands, no, millions of immigrant kids know this feeling of you are almost indefinitely paying back your parents for the sacrifices they made. And I don't know what other circumstances you have to carry that type of burden. And there's such subtle guilt trips that make you feel like, well, without your parents, you wouldn't even be in this world. And yes, it's true, but you also didn't choose to be here. So it's like you have to remember as parents, your obligation is to raise your kids. It's not something that's a debt to hold over their head later. Like you are choosing to bring a child into the world, therefore you should raise it and feed it and nurture it and care for it. It, the kid. And not use it as a leverage point for negotiating your future. And yeah, as a way to almost, yeah, not withhold love, but to determine how much of it you should give based on their behavior, based on what they're able to do for their life in the future. So there's a lot of that. Long story short, I one day was like sick of it. I'm like, I am going to today's the day I'm going to change my life. I have a lot of days like, hmm, where I just feel inspired to like, all right, today's the day, Glow. We are going to change this pattern. And I was looking in the mirror and I was doing my self-care, my skincare, sorry. And yeah, I got to one point, one stage in my skincare. And I was like, you are divine. Well, you are so divine. Wow, you are so confident. You are so beautiful. You are so brave. You are so inspiring. You are. girl, you are that girl. You are that girl. And of course, I'm laughing while I'm saying it because this is my first time doing it. So I'm still trying to uh, believe that it's actually helping. And I told myself, I'm like, okay, we're going to make this a part of our morning routine. Like, we're going to, if the first person I'm talking to every single day, this is back when I was single, if I am talking to the first words I utter out of my mouth out loud are going to be to myself, I might as well make them positive. Because imagine what your life looks like if you get out of bed and you're like, oh, another day. The energy that you're carrying into your day. Or if you pick up your phone and you're watching and scrolling things that are just have no has no business being a part of your first 10 minutes of your wake. I have done a really good job. I'm really actually proud of how much I do for myself before I pick up my phone. And there have been days where 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, it's the afternoon, and I'm like, oh, let me see what's going on. Like, see, because Stefan's with me, so I don't need, there's no one I need to text. Like, this is when you're building a new family, your family is with you. So this is, I'm like, and you're recognizing, oh wow, this is no wonder I feel so calm. No wonder I feel so peaceful. So in the morning, if you are talking to yourself first thing every single day, you might as well learn a script of positivity, of goodness, of joy, of possibility. Because imagine imagine what that does to you over time, especially if you're not used to talking to yourself kindly. And many of us don't have like a baseline positive statement about ourselves. When we think about the dialogue or the monologue rather that's in our head on a daily basis, it's you're so forgetful. Uh, you're so lazy. Oh my gosh, get up. Did you do that thing? How did you miss this? Oh, you're so clumsy. Again? Gosh, you're gonna eat that. Like we are we are talking to ourselves the way we wouldn't even talk to our friends. It's crazy. And yet it's normal. It's just another day. So yeah, this video is really all about positive self-talk and different ways that you can start that. So lesson number one, you have to build your confidence supply. And I know that external validation is nice, but look at that as the bonus and not your main source. And I want you to think to yourself, what are like three things that make me feel most confident? You could say your hair. Maybe you really like your hairstyle. It makes you feel really good. Your height. Maybe you like that you're tall. I don't know. And then third, maybe you have a really I don't know, let's say social media, because this is common. Let's say you put a lot of your validation and confidence into social media. If a post goes viral, you feel really good about yourself. You're like, ooh, I'm somebody, aren't I? And when that becomes the main source of your supply of confidence, it is fleeting and fluctuating and not reliable. When you let your main source of confidence be God, what he says about you, how much he loves you, how much you were made in his image, how there is nothing that you can do to separate yourself from the love of God, that now becomes something stable because no matter what you do, it is there and it is the same. Now your confidence is built on this unshakable foundation that is much more reliable than any other, I don't know, metric or I don't know, thing that is temporary. Because let's say your hair falls off, you can get a wig, I guess. Yeah, but you get what I mean. Okay. Um, and then the fastest way to boost your mood is saying affirmations you actually believe. I kid you not, I didn't realize what affirmations actually were until, I don't know, like 2021. I was saying them wrong. I was doing it all wrong. I was like, I always thought affirmations were like, I am beautiful and I am brave and I am wonderful. I always thought it was these surface level cliche statements that just make you feel good. But everyone is saying the same affirmations. So I thought, I'm like, okay, well, like, for example, the affirmation, I am smart. That does nothing for me because I know I am a genius. So someone who doesn't struggle with their intelligence doesn't need to say to themselves that they're smart. However, someone who struggles with their productivity, if they say something like, I'm a productive person, I am a responsible person, I'm an organized person, that's different because now you're tackling your inner dialogue of laziness. So affirmations need to actually confront the thing that you currently don't believe. I was I was shook. I was like, oh, okay, I'm a child of God. No, so once I started like getting actually specific about things that I didn't yet believe, like, oh, I'm worthy despite what I do. I am loved. No, I'm worthy even if my mother doesn't see my worth. I'm valuable even if that value doesn't fit the Nigerian standards. And when I became specific about the things that I struggled with, I was able to say them in a context that actually boosted my confidence. And that is why affirmations are powerful and the right way to use them. And so treat your self talk almost like a daily vitamin, small, consistent doses. It doesn't have to be one long hour spiel in the mirror, just 30 seconds. You're doing your skincare already, you're brushing your teeth already. So you might as well just say a few positive statements to yourself. Okay, and lesson two, definitely talk to yourself better than you would a best friend. Because I almost said just like a best friend, but I would say better than your best friend because you have to be your own best friend first and foremost. And if you wouldn't say it to someone else, then why do you allow yourself to say it to yourself? And if you're thinking, okay, I want to do something, but I just can't. I get this all the time. And especially recently, I've gotten a lot of DMs of people sharing their lack with me. Like, I'm not able, I can't, I never knew how, I don't, instead of saying, I'm learning or I'm becoming. And that speaks life into the version of you that is still in process, which is okay. It is good to be in process. It is good to be a work in progress. It is good to not be finished. None of us are. And if you were, then I'll meet you at the graveyard because that's where people go when they're finished. You got work to do, baby. Let's go. We're here for a reason. And I think the sooner you find that reason and the sooner you allow yourself to enjoy the journey while you're doing that thing, it just becomes a better, more well-rounded life. So I want you to compliment yourself on the effort, not just the results. The effort of showing up, the effort of posting a video on YouTube every single day of this month. Like I'm applauding myself. I cannot tell you, I have never gone to bed. It's been a while. Okay, more fulfilled than this current season. Like I'm going to bed every night so joyful, so grateful, so fulfilled because it's not about numbers. Or some videos might get 100 views. That's if there were 100 people in this room just like listening to me talk, that's a lot of people. And that's actually more than enough to feel like I'm making a difference. I think we the number on the screen actually looks small, so we think it's inconsequential, but the volume and the reach and the mass of 100 is a lot, and I will never take that for granted. And so I know that like, oh, okay, I can't wait for someone to get something out of this video because there were times where I was really struggling and I don't know, all of my friends, I think most of them were in stable jobs. I didn't know at the time that many entrepreneurs that were building or doing something different. I was still, especially in my mid 20s, I very much felt like I was in it by myself and I was trying to start to build my network of dreamers and creatives and entrepreneurs and bloggers. So I had to turn to YouTube, people who, from their abundance of time and resources and experience, would record videos and episodes where they're just sharing what they've learned. And it encouraged me so much because I was like, okay, there's a way through, there's a way out, there's better is coming. I don't know what better looks like, but I'm trusting the process because I see other people sharing from the other side. So the other side is on the way. Okay, number three is starting your mornings with your own voice. So, like I mentioned, recording that voice memo of positive voices, if you can record one to yourself, even better. And if you watched one of the earlier episodes of this creative clarity series, we talked about voice noting, recording a voice memo for your inner child. So you can either play that one every morning or record another one with a statement of just praise and love and different statements of affirmations that you really want to believe. And use strong present tense statements like I am capable of building $1 million brand online and I create value for someone every single time I post. Tell yourself these things and embody what you're really saying and what you're really putting on the internet. Because I think it's a powerful thing. I have never felt more energized by the landscape of social media and content creation. I think right now there's an inflection point of people who are in it for the right reasons, people who are implementing tools to their advantage, and those who are checking out and making more room for us to take up space and play. Listen, like there will always be people who do nothing but complain, and I feel really sorry for them because all that energy that they're spending complaining could be put into a creative pursuit. It could be put into worrying about what is in their control. Because action is my algorithm, baby. Like I show up, I do the work. The action that I take is the only algorithm that matters. I don't care that something isn't going viral or something isn't getting reached. Let me try again. Let me repost. Let me put it on another platform. It's not that serious because nothing, no one single post is going to make or break your brand. You have to be consistent. And so many people are throwing up Hail Marys thinking like, this is the post that I wanted to go viral. And because it only reached 12 people, like it's Mosery's fault. And I just really want us to get out of that mentality because we need to be empowered that this is a democratized playground and there is so much room for all of us to win. Okay. And just know that repetition makes your brain accept new beliefs faster. So make it a part of your daily ritual. Because if your voice is the one that you're going to hear the most, you want to make sure that you're your own biggest cheerleader. So if you do the 60-second pep talk, let me know what you said to yourself in the comments, or tell me an affirmation that you are really trying to embody and believe in this season. And if you enjoyed this episode, congratulations, you finished another day of the Creative Reset. You can check out mycreativereset.com for 90 daily tools, tips, and assignments to get you back on a creative pursuit. I talk about all the online monetization things that I've done. I talk about how I find creative things to talk about. I talk about how I get new ideas, new habits, the 5 books I read every year. It really is like a little mini guidebook of all the things that you need to stay creative and clear and hungry for whatever your goals are. Okay. So I hope y'all are enjoying it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the next episode tomorrow.